Hello, this is Karto 1989 for the BlazeCast Summer Season Review. With me is Sora, Dominic, Nretsew and Riddic, who will be pitching in little bits here and there. And basically this is where we quickly review all the series that we've been watching over the last season and decide whether it's worth buying, streaming or binning.
Yep.
And let me tell you, we have a lot to talk about this time.
This is probably one of the biggest ones of these we've ever done.
Yeah. God, this might actually end up longer. For the first time, this might actually end up longer than one of our outlooks.
Yep. Lots of records getting broken today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so...
And I'm up first, and I've got no notes, and I'm tired as fuck.
So I'll just quickly go through the list of what we've got coming up. Nretsew is going to be quickly talking about Silver Spoon and Servant Egg Service before going into another one with Dog and Scissors.
Yep.
Then we've got a bit of Fantasista Doll, followed by Fatelia, then High School DxD, Love Lab, Railgun S, Milky Homes, Symphogear G, Wate Mote, and we'll be finishing it off with Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh god, we're not gonna have any voices by the end of this.
Oh no. And we've got another special thing to do after this.
Yes, we do.
But we will get into that when we get into that. I think I should just jump straight into it.
Yep, go for it.
I'm only mentioning Silver Spoon and Seven Exhibits because I watched them to about, let's have a look. Silver Spoon up to episode 9 and 7 Exhibits up to episode 10, and then I think I can consider them dropped, maybe a little bit more on hold, mostly just because it got to the point where, I mean, it's not that the shows are bad. They're not bad. They're actually quite good. It's just I got bored watching them. And it got to the point where I was going,
it was one of those
ones.
It was one of those ones where you just feel like you're forcing yourself to watch it rather than actually wanting to watch it.
Yeah, and at that point I'm just like, no. I think I'll get back to them later, and I might do a full review later on down the line, but at the moment, these two are considered dropped. But I will say, at least in Silver Spoon's case, definitely go watch it. It is actually quite good. It's just not something that really intrigued me too much, and which is why I got a bit bored of it. So anyway, honorable mentions aside, fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
What can I say, Dog and Scissors? Where do I start?
At the beginning.
The show basically starts with this guy whose name I can't remember because it's that forgettable. And basically he loves books to the point where his entire house is a fucking library. So many books, all the books. And basically the story's premise is he goes to a cafe one day and he meets this writer who's writing at the desk, and the place gets robbed by a guy with a shotgun. Where do you think this is going to go? He gets shot, he dies, comes back to life as a dog, gets picked up by the author, turns out the author is his favourite author, blah, 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 it continues on from there. The plot is not that good. And it actually kind of goes to the side, because what I thought they were going to do was they were going to go, oh, I want to be human again. So I thought they were going to go, I can't read my books anymore because I'm a fucking dog. But no. He can apparently read as a dog, which makes no logical sense, but I'm going to go with it. And, he basically, the whole show is just the gag of the chick is really abusive to the dog, and then they get into situations where they have to use writing stuff and whatnot to get out of it. And it just got really, really, really boring really quickly. And it wasn't even that funny later on. It was kind of funny at first, but then it just sort of diminished over time. Because they kept doing the same thing.
Yeah, it just killed the gag.
It did. It was like beating the dead horse with a lightsaber. the animation also wasn't that great either, but... the only shining grace was the, I don't know the name of the character, but she's the editor to the author character, and she is a masochist. And her character trait is that she loves getting punished, which fits really well with the fact that it's the abusive war writer, and some of her gags were really fucking good. I gotta admit. I actually reckon if the show was just about her, I'd probably love it a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, as it stands, this one is definitely a bin completely. Like, it's one of those shows where it's just like, why bother?
Yeah.
There was so much other stuff that I could have been watching this season, but I watched this instead. I'm just thinking to myself now, just why?
Yeah. From what you've described, it sort of sounds like there was a much more interesting story going on in the background.
Kind of, because we had this other plot going on where there's this maid who keeps appearing every so often, and she's like singing something. I don't know. And the thing is, she's a maid to one of the most famous authors in the world in this universe. But the thing is, that character is never fucking really shown in the actual first season. Oh, and by the way, final episode sequel baiting much?
Oh.
No. I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to watch the second season if it comes out. But, well, actually, if that masochist character's still there, maybe. She was so funny! She was! Oh my god. Well, if you like masochists, watch the show for her. But if not, I really don't see the point in the show. I think it was definitely one of the most passable things this season.
Yeah. So a definite bin for that.
Oh, is there something past bin? Can I make my own thing for past bin?
Uber bin.
This is kind of like a stay the fuck away from it. It's got rabies.
How about this? Shovel your way down so deep you'll send it to Satan personally.
Sounds good. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll have Karto whip up a little emblem with a picture of Satan on it, and yeah, great, very nice. Yeah, this show forgettable, not really that funny. Don't watch it.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Fantasy Sister Doll.
Hey, it's my time. Fantasy Sister Doll, alright. Cards, magical girls, and a clueless protagonist. What can you ask for?
What?
Better things, actually. Alright, here's the plot. Uzume Uno, a girl who is an elite player in card tournaments, one day given a curious device, blah blah blah, special cards, female warriors known as Fantasista dolls. Name drop. Mm-hmm. And then from then on, she is the one getting hunted. No idea why.
Okay.
Alright. At the start of this show, I was actually pretty kinda interested, because it actually showed a lot of interaction between Uzume and the Fantasista dolls that she had, to the point that she almost abandoned them. And then, when it came down to episode 5, it slowly turned into the card game magical girl version of the Hunger Games.
What?
Where there was this one group always targeting her, trying to steal her cards and eliminate her in the process. And that shit didn't fly with me. And this sort of plot dragged on all the way till episode 11, the second last episode, where we find out that Uzume's conscience of a friend who keeps giving her advice is in fact the leader of this bad guy group.
Dun dun dun.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for shafting me, anime. So at the end, this girl just wants to get her old Fantasista doll back to life again because she died in a car crash. I don't know how they die. They just get sent to another realm. I don't get it. There's a lot of things about Fantasista doll that you just don't get.
Yeah, I was about to say, this sounds like it makes no sense.
It doesn't. Because most of the time, there's barely any character development.
So does it feel like they're literally just pulling the story out of their ass?
Almost. It's like one fine day you'll get, Madeline's story and why she's so overprotective, or Shimeji's story and why she's so mellow, even though she's like the hyper one of the group, or Katya, when she's actual hyper of the group.
So they're rubying it.
Yeah, they're pretty much rubying it. So, and the ending wasn't that spectacular either. At the end of the day, it's like the three friends, Uzume and her two friends, which I didn't want to mention because they're completely useless, by the way. These three, they just show that the power of friendship, blah blah blah, destroy the end.
Nretsew, you're copying everyone.
What? Okay, I was dozing off there. What's going on?
Sora's voice was coming out of you.
Yes.
Oh, this glitch again.
You're not me.
Everything's fine.
Persona.
I don't know what was going on there. I was busy reading the High School DxD new fucking synopsis on HomeTube, and I was like, wait, what? You mentioned me, what?
Yeah, alright. Okay, back to what I was saying. The shitty part about it is they didn't touch my favorite character at all, which was Akari. And Akari only had one episode dedicated to her. That was asking of her loyalty to Uzume, and she just went with Uzume for no apparent reason. Let's just say this anime just threw me for a loop, even though two of them are on my waifu list. Hashtag waifu list.
So even some of the worst animes out there are added to your waifu list.
Some of the worst animes out there, you'll hear later. Overall, Fantasista Doll, if you're interested in... the animations in this anime is actually really good. Like, some of the fights, even though they weren't really focused on, some of the fights were really animated well. But if you're into this type of animation, I suggest you go ahead and, at most, stream it. If not, throw it away like you do your used sock. Just don't watch this.
So really, would you really say it's more of a stream than a binge?
It's more of a low stream, like lower to throw it away.
Yeah.
On the shelf, about to fall in. We've used that before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my review.
Oh, we're kind of keeping you in a bit, because next up is Fate Ilia.
Yay!
Oh boy, this is where I come in. Right, so right, since Sora's already done his, I'll do the explaining for this one. Fate Ilia is, as you probably might be able to guess from the title, related to the Fate franchise, like Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, stuff like that. Except this one is a magical girl show, where Ilia, instead of being one of the chosen to fight in the Holy Grail War, is basically given magical powers to go around and defeat the other servants, turning them into cards so that Rin can take them back to London.
For the record, I love Fate spin-offs.
Yeah.
Carnival Phantasm will tell you that much.
Oh, that was brilliant. But yeah, I could definitely say that this was a really interesting and unique take on the Fate series, because it works. I don't know why, but it does. And really, you don't really need to know anything about the Fate franchise in order to jump in on this.
Yeah, because it's a spin-off. Like, it's not related to the main story.
Yeah, but you can get spin-offs which require you to have at least basic knowledge of a franchise.
Okay, yeah, that is true.
This one, you can jump in easily, not knowing anything, and you'll still be able to understand. And I have to say this, episode 6.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Episode 6.
I just put for my notes. I just put Ilya with Excalibur.
Oh yeah. I don't know much about the Fate series, but when I hear the words Excalibur,
Yeah.
You give Ilya and the power of a servant, and holy crap! I just dropped everything I ate. Like I was holding a bag of popcorn, I just dropped it on the floor and just saw it. I cleaned it up after that.
Yeah, that episode really as a whole was just awesome.
It was just amazing.
And the entire episode was practically just a big fight scene. That's all it really was. But again, when you have the idea of Ilya with Excalibur fighting Saber,
Saber for that matter.
Yeah. Do you need any more reason to check it out?
You don't. Go and watch it.
So, I'll say this because they do sequel bait.
Yeah, that's true.
They do sequel bait, but which again it kind of did a bamboo blade in the fact that it was actually a really solid ending. Then in the last few minutes they pull out that sequel bait as if from nowhere. Though thankfully we already know that a second series has been greenlit. So we are getting the sequel, so I suppose it doesn't matter. But it's still a bit annoying that they had to resort to that anyway.
Yeah, sequel bait's never good. Especially when it's the entire end credits dog and scissors.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
You assholes!
Yeah. And I do have to say, it did feel like in places, in certain occasions, especially in the few episodes where they were actually fighting Saber, they were so trying to be Madoka Magica.
Almost, I'd say.
I was just going, they threw in the fact that, she's a magical girl, but she can bleed. She's bleeding.
They can get hurt.
Oh my god, blood in an anime! What will we do?
It's like, are you really trying to draw attention to this? It doesn't matter. It just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just kind of pointless.
Blood is blood.
I mean, yeah, like, especially the one where they, that girl, I forget her name, Miu was fighting Berserker. Yeah, she is gonna get hurt because she's fighting Berserker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I do have to also kind of point out, while it made me laugh so hard, I do have to question, why did they make Ilya a bit of a lesbian?
A bit. I've seen a lot of funny shit on the Crunchyroll forums about this.
Let me just try to picture this. Ilya and Miu, our main characters, are both young girls. And there is a scene where Ilya is stuck at home and she calls Miu, who is in a maid outfit, and Ilya basically fangasms. She has a bloody nose.
There's a reason she's in a maid outfit.
Because
Has it been explained?
There is a reason. She has to work as a maid in one of the other characters' house. I can't remember her name.
Good.
In other words, this anime has two of the major selling points for anime: fan service and implied Yuri.
Yes. Because it sort of escalates to a point where Ilya is in the nude, almost looking like she's about to rape Miu when all of her other friends burst into her room.
I don't know why.
There is no words to that.
Nope.
Well, you know, Karto, you know what they say. Curiosity killed the cat girl.
I'm suddenly starting to regret not watching that anime past episode 7.
Mm. And actually, speaking of Catgirls, one of the bonuses on the Blu-rays is actually a mini episode where Ilya dresses up in Catgirl uniforms.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God, I think I've seen that on the forums. Oh my god, yeah, I think I've seen that.
I'm just going, well, I want to watch this for the laughs. It's still fucking wrong because she's a little girl.
Yeah, I don't approve of the lolly. Nah.
And I also have to really question again, because apparently on the DVDs and Blu-ray releases, they show her completely in the nude when she's in the bath.
God damn it.
Nope. Train to Nope Express to Nopesville. Let's go.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
Welcome to Japan, people.
I just
okay, and the one thing, okay, I have this sudden gripe with one thing. The constant slapstick between Rin and Luvia.
Luvia, that was it.
Good. Yeah, good in good in 2 episodes. Didn't have to bloody repeat it constantly. It got annoying.
I will
That
admit,
was the one thing.
around the middle, it really did get annoying, but it did sort of chill out in the later episodes, thankfully.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had to work together again, but they still argued. Like, stop it. Just get to killing the guy already. Ugh.
No, I did like they did give the two a moment to shine in the middle of the series.
Which is good. I like Rin. I like Lulia. They're both on the waifu list. But
One of the things that I remember most from that anime is the personality of the two wands. I thought that was quite a nice touch.
Yeah,
Ruby and Sapphire were just amazing.
it's definitely much better to give the wands a personality rather than giving them a traditional magical creature.
Yeah.
That is true.
So,
Yeah, in
are we
terms
going to
of
split the... Oh, sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were done.
well, in terms of an actual rating, because I think I've said everything I can about the series. I didn't know whether to actually say stream or buy, but I think because it's got a second series confirmed, I can forgive the sudden, sequel bait ending. So I have to give it a buy. It is actually worth it. I just kind of hope, one, Sentai Filmworks don't fuck up the dub.
Damn Sentai. Picking up everything.
Yeah.
Sentai.
Caring about dubs. What are you, casual?
Yeah. I'll admit.
Sub to Master Race.
Oh,
Sub
God.
Master
at least-
Race.
At least in Japan, our voice actors actually have some kind of emotion.
Oh, lol.
Sorry, I'm very much against some of the English voice actors. There's the good ones, but then there's Funimation.
Hey, no,
There's the
I'm
good
sorry.
ones, but there's...
I'm sorry. There's the good ones, and then there's Sentai Filmworks.
Mm.
They cannot pull out a good dub to save their life.
No, Karto, I think you're wrong there. There's the good ones, the bad ones, then there's Sentai Filmworks.
Yes.
You forgot that little bit in the middle there,
That is
which
true.
is like sort of bad, but it's not really that bad, and then there's Sentai.
I've said it before. And
I think we should regen dubbed anime into a new age and just get every anime to be dubbed by 4Kids.
Well, I was actually just about to say, you're doing bad dubs when even 4Kids did better.
Give that cookie a man. Wait, what?
Okay then. Now, are we going to split these into parts, or are we just going to do one long ass thing?
We're
Karto?
gonna split them into parts like usual.
So is this going to be the end of part 1, or are we just going to?
Yeah. So, like I said,
What a great way to end to part 1.
Yep.
So I'm giving Fate Ilya a buy. Sora, do you have a?
It's a buy. It's a buy from me. You better watch it. I will come over to your house and shank you.
Yeah.
The shanking will be happening. It'll be Attack of the Sora too, the shankening.
That day, all anime watchers received a grim reminder.
Oh god.
Oh god.
They lived their lives under the ruling of Sora X Nagisa.
Yes.
All hail the mighty king.
You shall watch Milky Holmes, or you shall die.
Or I will eat your people.
Oh my god.
See you in part 2.
It's gonna have a good start, let's just say that.
Right, welcome back, and we're going straight in with High School DxD. So, Nretsew.
If you could see the smile on my face right now.
Oh boy.
That's
the
the
smile
problem. We
on
can't.
both of our faces.
Ah.
That's the problem. We can't see the smiles on your faces.
Yeah,
I'm-
my multiple faces, Sora. I have multiple faces, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to see the lower one.
Oh, God.
Hi.
We've got there.
Very nice, Karto. But yes, High School DxD new second season to High School DxD, which I loved. I was not expecting it to get a second season. I don't remember if there was sequel bait in the first season's ending, but anyway, Issei finds himself in new troubles as new villains, anti-heroes, and tits come into his life. Lots and lots of tits. Essentially, the plot of this one, it actually is 2 arcs. First arc is actually not about him. It is about one of the side characters. What is his name here? I have it here somewhere. Kiba, I believe his name is. I'm just going to call him Pretty Boy, because that's what Issei calls him. Basically, the plot revolves around his backstory and how his sacred gear was created, and his sacred gear is essentially that he can summon swords at will. And it turns out the reason he can summon swords at will is because he was a failed experiment to try and merge somebody's soul with Excalibur.
Huh.
Yeah. And essentially what that ended up doing was splitting Excalibur into multiple swords and killing all the test subjects in the process except for him. And then he managed to escape the secret church agency hideout and basically get found by Raz, who resurrects him as a demon because he's freezing out in the cold. And basically the first arc is an archangel trying to recreate the original Excalibur so he can basically destroy the entire town. Which, of course, we can't have, because then Raz's boobs would get smaller, and we can't have that. Oh my god, that last episode was so good. The second half is the fallout of that particular fight, because at the current war, currently there was a war between the angels, the demons, and the fallen angels. And essentially, there was a truce between them. And because of the incident that happened with this one fallen angel, the whole war could start up again, because we also find out that apparently God's dead. And, yeah. So...
God's dead. Let's move on.
Yeah, God's dead. So basically, second half is really but there's a peace treaty that's going to happen at the school, and they're making preparations for it. And of course, new villains come in. New villain is the yin to his yang, the white dragon. No, it's not white. He's white, but he's the blue dragon. Makes no sense. Don't give a shit.
Blue eyes, white dragon. He's blue.
Yes, exactly. But basically, whereas Issei's powers are that he can double his power and give it to other people, the blue dragon's power is that he minuses other people's power and gives it to himself. So it's a bit of a polar opposite there in terms of the power. And basically what's happening is, what was it? It was a while ago since I watched it, so you're going to have to forgive me if I'm a bit forgetful. The new faction is based on the Leviathan, and they basically want to destroy the world so they can remake it anew. And apparently, one of the people in this group is Goku. Well, not actually Goku. Goku's son, apparently, is actually on this group, and he makes an appearance, which was kind of funny.
Okay.
So, other new characters, we get, well, my new waifu, fucking Zali. I can't pronounce her name because it's got an X in it and it makes no sense. It's Zali blah blah. But she's the blue-haired chick. She is so fucking crack up.
Did Nomura have anything to do with her?
Maybe. Well, she loses. Basically, what happens with her is she is an agent for the church. And what happens is once she figures out that God's dead, she has no reason to be with the church and becomes a demon. Then she makes it her new life's purpose to have the baby of the Red Dragon.
What?
Yeah. Oh my god, the hilarity that ensues is fucking great. There's actually a scene where she just randomly pulls out condoms and is like, here, we can use these for practice. In the middle of school.
Oh god.
Yeah, this show, I love this show. I love this show because it's just so funny. And it's actually good. The story is actually good. Both the arcs are good. It was really interesting to learn about Pretty Boy and his past and all of, and like his sacred gear and all of that. It was actually really interesting and very fleshed out, which is something that I kind of was a little bit off about the first season, because the first season we don't get to know that much about these side characters. In this one, we learn fuck tons about them, which is great. It actually does what a sequel's supposed to do. It builds on what the original set, which I thought was really good. Another interesting thing is the fan service actually takes a back seat in this one for the plot, which I noticed. It's not actually as fan service heavy as the first one, and that's also a good thing to see, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously that's good, but at the same time, if your first series was really fan servicey, then
The service, yeah. I know where you're getting at with that, but personally I thought it was alright, because, like I said, the plot's interesting. I want to know more about these characters and their backstories, including the other new introduced character. It's a trap. All I'm going to say, I don't want to
there's
spoil it.
always one.
It's a trap. And his power is really interesting because he has the ability to stop time. And Issei, being the smart bastard that he is, thinks that this would be a great tag team for him to be able to fondle all the girls at the school. So he takes on the responsibility of becoming his senpai. Hilarity ensues, does it not? But no, in all seriousness, I love this series to death, and I can't give it anything else other than a buy. I really cannot, because I would recommend watching the first one, then watching this, and then possibly the third one, because there was sequel baiting. However, it was kind of good sequel baiting in a way. And I've left quite a lot of stuff out, so I really do think that people should go and watch this entire series, because it's an ecchi show that's got decent plot, and hey, it's actually good. The animation's not that bad. I recommend going and watching it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a recommendation from Nretsew the pervert.
Yep.
It's also a recommendation from me as well.
Ah, he has joined my side, Karto.
Fuck, they're multiplying.
Oh boy. We are growing ever so stronger every day. One day we will take over the world.
But before that ever happens, we still have to hijack Karto's room.
Yes, we still have to do that.
You're not getting anywhere near.
Bitch,
I could just
five
debate-
generations of waifus. Get on my level.
Yes, we will never pale in comparison to the king. We must bow towards him. But no, seriously, this show is actually really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching it this season. It was one of my best picks from this one. So, it gets a glowing recommendation, plus the buy it symbol. So, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so next up is Love Lab. So that's Sora, you again, Sora.
Love Lab. Alright, let's put something on record here for this podcast. Slice of Lives with me are 50-50. Ask the audience, phone a friend. They either go really good, like K-On!,
Yes.
or they go really bad, like Kinero Mosaic.
Ah.
I'm looking at you. But yeah. Okay, so Love Lab. Basically, it stars Natsuo Maki, a proper student president admired by her classmates, calm, polite girl, and Kurahashi Riko, probably one of my most favorite girls, and Riddic is not taking her away from me.
Get out. She's mine. You have Ruby, I have Riko.
I will fight you. Anyways.
So the war begins.
Round 1, fight!
In 20XX, war has begun. Anyways, Riko, who is known as the Wild Kid, because she's so wild and she practically crammed herself into this proper school, she ends up walking into the student council office, catching Maki kissing a pillow. And that sets the tone for the entire show. Basically, what Maki wants to do is figure out how to get a boyfriend, or pretty much research on how to get a boyfriend.
I think you forgot to mention one of the most important parts. That, or I missed it. The school doesn't encourage love relationships. The school actively... Yeah, the school actively seeks out to stop relationships.
Yeah. So, gosh, I don't know where to begin. There's everything about this show I loved. The characters were amazing, especially Suzu, who is I can't even word the Riddic, back me up.
Right, so basically, my view on Love Lab is it's probably one of the best slice of life I've ever seen. Bar Toradora, but it's quickly catching up. I've yet to see anything that tops Toradora on my anime list, though. But you have the 5 main characters, the 5 characters of what used to be the full pupil council. You have Riko and Maki, Maki being the president and Riko being the president's assistant, thanks to the Love Lab that they set up. The names I can't remember, the names I can't remember, and the names I can't remember.
Alright, let me back you up.
For a minute there, I was going to say, this guy's the most researched person on the show today, but then, nah.
No, I can tell you about the anime, I just can't tell you the names. Because unless they are waifu status, aka Riko, unless they're waifu status, and I search their tag on Tumblr every day, I don't remember their names.
Fair enough. We have much in common.
Oh, God.
We have Suzu, the student council president's secretary, who is completely a dunce, who constantly trips over it, and likes to make slapsticks for no reason.
She makes the best slapsticks.
She makes metal slapsticks. No, I'm joking. She makes big slapsticks.
All I'm thinking of now is the scene from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Nice. Then we have Yuiko Enomoto, who is the rich girl and is a complete tsundere. And we have Sayori Mizushima, who is the treasurer, and she is a genius and an asshole at the same time.
She is the biggest of assholes. Okay, so the basic plot of the anime is that after Riko runs into the council office and sees Maki asks for her help, and Riko, I keep saying Riko.
Riko, Kingdom Hearts!
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts!
Kingdom Hearts, fill me with love knowledge! No.
Kingdom Hearts is love!
I that Kingdom Hearts is love.
Anywho.
That was the title. I wanted to fill your heart with love!
No, we completely got on his head.
The things that Maki does are super stupid. Anyone would be able to know that she's read far too many manga or whatever to actually know what she's doing. And even Rico notices this, and because of Maki's innocent nature, Rico can't say you're being an idiot, and as such, her instincts takes over, and she says, "Oh, of course, I have loads of experience with love. I'm like a love master," and instantly, Maki is attached to Rico because of this, and
Rico has, and what we know from what we watch, Rico has been rejected all her life.
yeah, she never asked anyone, but at the same time, she got rejected instantly. One of the first flashbacks we see is back in their kindergarten, nursery school, whatever country you're in's equivalent of it, where it's her and another girl standing side by side and two guys talking, and one of the kids turns around and says, "I prefer the one on the left." Obviously, that's not Rico.
Pretty much.
But because of her nature of "I don't want to disappoint," she has to stick with this. She can't tell the truth of, "I'm actually an amateur. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about."
Which she ends up doing anyways, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah, that's at the end. But it was obvious it was going to happen. And because of that, Maki gets attached and pretty much just yanks her into the pupil council. "You're my assistant now." "What?" "Yeah, you're my assistant. We're going to do love research." "Huh?"
And she gets taken aback.
Yeah. But basically what happens is there's revelation in the story a few episodes in where Rico learns that Maki wasn't the only member of the pupil council, even though she manages to do everything herself. Because of Maki's nature to take over things and do things pretty much perfectly, the rest of the pupil council quit or was kicked off in Sayori's case.
She was fired.
Yeah. So Suzu never actually quit. She was just far too shy and never really appeared. But the original captain, Yukio, aka Ino, just kind of left because Maki was doing everything better and she couldn't put up with that. But they go and try and get all these guys back, and they reform it and they create the Love Lab. And Sayo, being the sly prick that she is, instantly sees through Rico. And that makes for a really interesting. Yeah,
that was the best thing about Love Lab. When Sayo found out that Rico had absolutely no idea what the fuck she was doing.
And it turns out that Sayo did actually have a boyfriend. Albeit, when we first heard about it, she hadn't seen him for 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made for a really interesting subplot behind it. Because, especially near the end, when Rico was trying to tell Maki the truth, there was a bit where she ran into the pupil council room and seen the back of Maki, and she started going on about it was a lie and all that. She finally managed to say it, and then it's Sayo turns around wearing a big wig that's like Maki, and the hilarity that came after that is so good.
It's just amazing. Basically, to cut this short, this show is like none other slice of life that I've seen before. You all should go ahead and give this a watch. I give this a buy, honestly.
I'd buy it 3 times.
Okay, so you're going to buy. Would you give it a must-see mark?
It's a must-see.
Right.
It's different. It's different from what other slice of lives there are. It's whimsical for one. It's not like, one thing go to another thing. No, it has actual plot. A slice of life with plot, amazing.
Yeah.
Can you
far too much? If you love feels, if you love implied Yuri, if you love really good story, if you love
Yeah.
really good story, then Love Lab is for you. To me,
Pretty
Love
much.
Lab has completely rewritten Slice of Life. It took Slice of Life and made it so much better.
Love Lab is up there. It's there. That's the standard now. Love Lab is the standard of slice of lives. You can't, if you don't beat that standard, that's it. You're done.
Interesting.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it's actually beaten K-On! In my top slice of life list.
I'll definitely have to give it a check then.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I could rant for
I was
hours.
gonna watch it anyway, but yeah, I was gonna watch it anyway because like I said,
Yeah,
I've got it on the queue.
yeah,
I
I've
just
been.
haven't got around to it.
I would know. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about it, so I know that has been interest. So I think I might just go ahead and check it out then. So
To me, it was one of the ones that actually broke my own 3-episode rule. I'll usually watch 3 episodes.
yeah, that's
3 to 5.
that's the general rule for most anime fans, really.
Yeah, I usually watch and then make my decision afterwards. But Love Lab had me instantly. It was like another one of what was that other one called? Now I'm not going to remember the name and I'm going to look stupid.
It seems as if Love Lab for you two was kind of what Sakurasa was for me and Nretsew.
Nah, you know how we feel.
What was that actually? What one was Kuroko again?
What?
Sorry?
What was that anime?
Sakurasa.
Hey girl of Sakura.
Sakura-so. I don't think I've watched that one.
You know,
There was one last season where it was about this girl who could read minds.
Oh, Katara-san.
Katara-san,
Oh.
that's the one. Yes, that was another one that got me the first episode, and that was a really good one as well. But
That was really good. I like that. Yeah.
Considering Nretsew said Sakurasa beat that in his opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me to say.
Those two anime, that one and Love Lab, those are the only 2 slice of life that have ever got me on episode 1.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'll definitely be certain to check
you-
that out. So
if you believe in the feels, watch.
Yeah.
And if
I would
you
say-
believe in the panties, watch Sakura-san.
You wished.
For Love Lab, I'd say buy it, rant about it, buy it for your friends, get them to rant about it with you, and then buy it again.
And if they don't
Spread
watch
the
it,
love.
if they don't watch it, I will come down to your house and spread love up their asses.
Oh god, that sounds so wrong.
yes, it does
know.
actually. So I think we better move on before it gets any creepier.
Hey, it's the season for it.
Yep. Well,
It's
'Tis the season for the fan service.
oh god.
la 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 la
La la la la la.
What do I have to put up with?
You hired me.
Yeah.
There you go.
You asked
I
me
just
to
sort of
join anyway.
tagged along at some point. The rest of the group left. I'm just the leftovers.
Okay, so we're moving on before this gets any weirder to a certain scientific railgun S.
Oh yeah. Now,
This is where
spoiler. I
reaching out.
the thing about me with Railgun S is I didn't watch I haven't actually finished it. I'm 6 episodes away. But damn, Railgun S.
Right, so this is going to be mainly me talking.
But before you say anything, I just had to say, before Railgun S came out, I was so pissed off at the original Railgun series that they didn't include what happened in the sister arc. I am so glad they made this series just so they can explain what happened.
Yes. So yeah, Railgun S, obviously a sequel to a certain scientific railgun, which in itself is a spin-off / side story to a certain magical index. A lot of series there.
Mm.
But yeah, the original Railgun series was overall kind of light-hearted, even when it had its serious points. It never went too dark.
No, I didn't. No, I watched it, so I
Yeah.
can vouch for that.
Railgun S basically says fuck that and goes all the way in with the serious shit. As Sora was kind of saying, the main gist of Railgun S is the adaptation of the Sisters arc of the manga, which I had actually only just completed reading when this series started, so I was fucking hyped.
Choo choo.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'd watched Index's adaptation of the Sisters arc. So yeah, this is actually an adaptation of an adaptation.
Of an adaptation.
Yeah.
Of an adaptation.
It keeps on going because it's like had the light novels, then it became the anime, then it became the manga, then it became the anime again. It's weird. But yeah, it in some ways this is actually a million times better than how it was presented in Index.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, they focused a lot more on that whole part, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously with Index they have to focus on Toma, the main character of that series, and how
because it was...
Yeah, and how he fits in with everything that's going on with the sisters. And it didn't really explain much about Misaka Mokoto's opinions and real feelings about what was going on. It was kind of left somewhat vague. This series, entirely from her perspective, and my God, do you feel sorry for her. You really do understand what's going through her mind.
Believe in the feels.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
You also sort of see the effects that her actions are having on the other characters. And it just explains everything so much better. And honestly, I actually think Railgun S makes Toma more likable than in his own series, and actually a bit more of a badass.
Interesting.
I have to agree with that.
Because
Toma became more of a man.
yeah, that entire fight scene against Accelerator, my fucking God. Actually, I was raving earlier about how Ilya with Excalibur was just an amazing fight. That has nothing on Toma versus Accelerator. Wow.
Just wow. Just stop when the red lights flash. That was awesome.
Yeah. And it's definitely one of the highlights of both this season and last season, because obviously this was a carryover. It was just an amazing scene, and again, it's during that fight scene that you really do sense the seriousness, that shit has just got real. And while I will also say that the series as a whole has a really strong ending, the problem with the Sisters arc itself is that it kind of makes the second half of the series not as good.
Because it can't live up to the expectations of the first arc?
Yes.
Question mark? Knew it.
But in the same way, the second half isn't bad. It's completely capable. It's actually really good. It's about on par with the original series.
And considering the fact, at least in my opinion, the original series wasn't that bad,
Yeah.
It was alright. It wasn't groundbreaking or anything, but it was alright.
Yeah, it was an
Fun to
enjoyable
watch.
series. And the second half of Railgun S is the same level. It's nothing bad, it's nothing spectacular, it's just enjoyable. But like I said, compared to the Sisters arc, it just doesn't compare. And also it does sort of fall into the category of if you didn't watch the original series, you are going to be completely lost.
You'll be completely confused.
Yeah, because even though the first episode is sort of a explanation episode, just sort of getting you reintroduced to the world and all the characters, it doesn't do as much of a good job. You are going to be so lost if you haven't watched either the original series or Index.
At least watch Railgun, and then you'll understand
Yeah.
bits of it.
Now, I really do want to talk about the last episode, but I know Sora hasn't watched it. Oh god.
The only thing I cared about was thank you, the people who made this, for bringing Team Item to life. I fucking loved Misaka versus Item. It basically just as what I expected, the same way I saw it. I read it in the manga.
Yes.
The fight scene was like, oh, it blew my mind. It just blew my mind.
So many good fight scenes.
There were a lot of good fight scenes. There were a lot of serious moments in this anime itself. There wasn't that much to laugh about. Although sometimes Kuroko can be a bit of an idiot.
Ah, that's typical Kuroko.
Yeah, it's Kuroko, of course.
But again, I have to say, well, people have sort of said that the actual ending to the series is sort of sequel baiting, but I don't think it is. They allude to future events from the manga.
There we go. Now is the time for me to complain. Make an OVA for the Dai Seisai arc. I'm going to punch you in the face.
But again, they sort of mention these little bits that happen next in the manga without actually showing it. They just say, "Oh, we have to prepare for this and that and stuff like that." It's not really sequel baiting because it just kind of comes off as if it's just a regular day in Academy City.
Yeah, that's kind of the same sort of thing they did with DxD New, actually. They didn't really directly say they're going to be a sequel, but it was pretty much, we've got to get ready for the coming war. Well, there wasn't really a war. It's not a spoiler, there's not actually going to be a war, but you get the point. We have to get ready for this.
Yeah.
We have to get ready for the big events that are coming.
Yeah, and while I did say that Railgun S had a strong ending because of one particular thing, I so want to mention it, but I can't. I will also say that it's also a bit of a letdown because they basically get rid of the big bad in the first 5 minutes.
And wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
First 5 minutes of the final episode, they take down the big bad, if you can call him that. And again, it's a huge letdown. The rest of the episode is just them dealing with what he put into action in those last few minutes.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid and it kind of a letdown, but considering what happens, I have to say yes. Fuck yes.
That's Railgun S in a nutshell.
Yeah. All I can say about it, because again, damn you, Sora, for not watching those last few episodes.
Look, I've been busy, okay? the fall lineup decided to rape me.
Yeah.
All together.
All I can say is, Mikoto gives off the greatest railgun you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't think that's going to be topped for quite a while.
All right,
I'm gonna have to
watch that.
continue watching the original Railgun.
So yeah, I think I can easily give this a buy. Even though the second half doesn't match up to the end of the Sisters arc, it's still enjoyable. It's still really good. So they barely, if any, put a foot wrong throughout the entire series. Not many series can really get away with saying that they didn't have a dud episode. And yeah, so I can give it a buy. I unfortunately can't give it a must-see mark because it does require the original series to view. So you can't just instantly jump into it. But I still strongly recommend checking it out. Obviously, check out the original series, then go straight into Railgun.
Check out the manga as well.
What?
And check out the manga as well.
Yes, check out the manga.
That's what
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whew.
That was a long one.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the next parts for 3 more, sadly, longer talks, most likely.
Oy.